Greetings, YouTube. That comic book guy here. I'm back with part two of my classic illustrated comic book collection. If you saw part one, you know I've been going through them all. Dave Sunstorm, my good buddy, inspired me to check out the classics. He sent me a DVD of the Swiss Family Robinson. I won in a contest, so I watched the movie. Then I hunted down the comic book and I did a classic. And that has inspired me to show here on YouTube a few more of my classic comic books. You can see me review Swiss Family Robinson on my other channel, the Daily Dan Blog. And we carry on looking at the classics as I show you Homer's The Iliad. You know, based on ancient Greek mythology, a classic comic book, one for the times, one for our age. It has gladiators, it has chariots, it has gods. You can't go wrong with the Iliad. And check out this classic. It's Charles Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities. Classic Illustrated number 6 from the second series. By the way, in case you noticed, there's more than one series of Classic Illustrated. I have several from all the series. But this was number 6 from the second series. And it's The Tale of Two Cities. And I'm not really familiar with this one either. It'll be one I'll have to check out, but I think it might have something to do with the French Revolution. Now here's a classic illustrated comic book that I have extra special affection for. It's The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. I really enjoy this story. I've seen several different variations of the movies based on The Time Machine. Have you seen any of the movies based on The Time Machine, and which one did you like best? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to let me know what you think about the cover for this Time Machine comic book. I picked it up on sale. I got a deal. And check this one out. This is Knights of the Round Table. Yeah, that's right. Classic Illustrated. Knights of the Round Table. It has no author's name. I don't know who wrote this tale, but it's more or less probably just going to be like Lancelot and Sir Galahad and King Arthur and all that really cool stuff that took place back in the day. And I love the cover on this one. I especially like the cover on this one. That is one cool white horse. Don't you agree? Let me know in the comments below. You know, sometimes you buy a book just for the cover. And I'd heard the story of the Mutineers before, and I know there's a movie out there about the Mutineers, but I really can't remember ever seeing the Mutineers. You'll have to fill me in the comments below if you know anything about it, but it's a classic illustrated, The Mutineers, based on Charles Brawl's novel. And I do remember there being a movie about it, but it's one of them that just slipped by me, and I have never seen the movie and know very little about this pirate adventure, but it's got a cool cover, right? I swear I've been talking so much today, I'm going hoarse as I show you a classic Jules Verne. It's one of my favorites. It's Journey to the Center of the Earth. Yeah, I loved that movie when I was a kid. And anybody see the old Journey to the Center of the Earth movie? It blew me away as a kid. And there's been a couple of classic remakes. Hell, I think The Rock even made a Journey to the Center of the Earth movie. And we're rocking on with the classics, you know, more Charles Dickens. We've got David Copperfield. Now, that's one I'm real familiar with. I actually read that one back in high school, and that was one that really bored me to tears. And here you see the classic of them all, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. I read the book called The Adventures of Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. Hey, check this one out. It actually says Samuel Clemens on it. Wow. Does anybody know what famous name Samuel Clemens was also known by? If you do, let me know in the comments below. We'll call it a history test. We'll call it some trivia. Let me know if you want to see me check out Tom Sawyer in the comments below. And I do all my reviews pretty much on the Daily Dan blog if you want to check them out. The classics just keep on coming. It's the gift that keeps giving. That's right. We got the Three Musketeers by Alexander Dumas. Alexander Dumas. By Alexander Dumas, number 1, the very first classic illustrated, volume 2 ever made. It's the Three Musketeers, one of my favorite covers ever. Of course, there's 4 of them on the cover of the Three Musketeers. Okay? Long fellas, miles outstanding. That's right. We got to go sail away with the Pilgrims in search of a new world in a classic illustrated comic book, number 92 from the second series, with a really, really cool Pilgrim style cover. I really like the cover and the dress of the uniform. And this is another one of my all-time favorites, Jules Verne, The Mysterious Island. Anybody see The Mysterious Island? Takes place in the Confederate War. They wind up on a hot air balloon. They wind up getting sucked across the ocean and crashing on an island. It's really a great story. I recommend you read it. See the old movie, not the new version, but the really old classic 60s movie. You'll really enjoy that. And I really love the cover. All the guys on it. Some of them probably won't make it. And I'll call these a couple of honorable mentions for classics like 101 Tales of the Arabian Nights and the Adventures of Sinbad. And that's right out of, classic literature, I think. So, would you consider that classic literature? I would. And this really cool, big old Knights of the Round Table. I know I got another Knights of the Round Table, but it don't got this really cool old school 1957 cover. And for all the classic illustrated I got, this would probably be one of the oldest ones with that big 10-cent price on it. And it's actually put out by Dell. And one day I'll get around to doing a double shot of Knights of the Round Table and just do them both in one video. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And in case you missed part one, a quick run through of the other covers from part one: Call of the Wild, The Fire and the Sword, Ivanhoe, The Bottle Imp, Men of Iron, The Red Rover, a really cool copy of Treasure Island, an even cooler copy and older of Treasure Island, The Incredible Tale of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. We'll put that one to the side. I meant to do that earlier. Wild Animals I Have Never Known, in a comic book I've never seen. I know nothing about that one. And Rip Van Winkle getting his sleep on. Yeah, Rip Van Winkle in this really cool Washington Irving story. And, of course, The Moonstone. Yeah, I know nothing about The Moonstone. And Men Against the Sea, a classic tale of pirate action, yeah. And that about wraps it up. Thank you for joining me today as I looked at classic comic books. And now these are the ones I picked out, like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Journey to the Center of the Earth, Food of the Gods, The Invisible Man, and The Call of the Wild. And there were some I just want to show real quick that I picked out that I may be doing reviews on coming up in the next year. So look for them. Thanks for joining Fat Comic Book Guy. Join me on my other channel, the Daily Dan Blog, for full comic book reviews. And until next time, Fat Comic Book Guy saying, blog over, dudes. Blog over.